If your thumbnails aren't working, it doesn't matter how good your videos are, no one will ever click, no one will ever watch, and YouTube will bury your videos and ultimately kill your channel. Because your video could literally change the person's life and give them the breakthrough that they've been waiting for. But if your thumbnails aren't packaged in a way to make them want to click, they're never gonna see it, and all of your hard work is wasted. But today, we're gonna fix that. I'm gonna show you how to create powerful thumbnails that spark curiosity, make your viewers want to click, and blow up your channel, even if you're not a graphic designer and you're doing everything on your phone. Now, here's the harsh truth that most creators don't realize. Your content could be great, but if it's not packaged in a way that people want to watch it, it doesn't matter. Think of like a store. You could have an amazing product, something that will change someone's life, but if the advertising sucks and no one sees it, no one has any intrigue, no one wants to buy it, it doesn't matter. Or you can have a decent product that is packaged amazingly, the marketing is great, people are gonna wanna buy your product, they're gonna love it, and that product is gonna quadruple in sales while the other one sits on the shelf. So while content is king, the number one most important thing is the packaging, because YouTube is a two-part game. Thumbnails will get the click, the content will keep them watching the video. But everyone that I know does this backwards, and I made this mistake for a while when I first started on YouTube. Obsess over the script, shoot the video, edit the video, upload the video, and then come up with a title and thumbnail in like 5 minutes and schedule it out. That's kind of like spending 3 days cooking a gourmet meal, taking the meat, seasoning the meat, marinating the meat, getting everything ready, and then serving the food on a paper plate and a broken table and chair and expecting people to enjoy the experience. So the first thing is put more time and effort into your title and thumbnail and make sure that they're not only complementing each other, but it's also contrasting and opening curiosity. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that you need flashy designs. You just need to understand how the human brain works. Because I have studied hundreds of thumbnails, and most of them had one thing in common. They all triggered curiosity. So it's really not about the font, the colors, or even the visuals. It's about the question it plants in the viewer's mind, and they have to click on it to get the answer in the video. And out of the hundreds of thumbnails that I have gone through and researched, here are 5 proven methods that you could start utilizing right now to get more clicks on your videos. Number 1, the moment thumbnail. This one captures 1 second before something happens. You've seen these on channels and probably haven't even realized it. Number 2 is a story thumbnail. It sets up a narrative with tension, so they have to click on the video because they want to see the end of the story. Number 3, the result thumbnail. It shows the end result but hides the how, something that makes them want the transformation, and they're going to click on the video to learn how to do it. Number 4, the transformation thumbnail. It shows the before and after, but they're missing how to get from point A to point B. You're going to explain that in the video. And number 5, the novelty thumbnail. It shows something weird, new, or unfamiliar. It just makes them curious, like, what is that? Because if your thumbnail doesn't make someone question what happened, how did they do that, or what is that, they're probably not going to watch the video. Now, while getting curiosity is amazing, it's really only half the battle, because the real magic happens when you stand out. Think of it this way. When your video shows up on someone's feed, they are distracted by everything that they're seeing, and they have so many options to watch so many different videos. But if your thumbnails aren't standing out in the vast sea of content, it's never going to get clicked on. So on top of curiosity as a foundation, you need to have pattern interrupts. You need to make the brain stop and think, whoa, what is that? And here are a few ways that you can actually start doing that right now. You want to have faces, preferably your own or somebody that you're talking about in the video, with exaggerated emotion or tension. Next is big numbers, especially tied to like time, money, or challenges. On top of that, you can have familiarity bias like celebrities, apps, platforms. Think of like PayPal, Netflix, or even YouTube, something that people know, they trust, and it's just very familiar. On top of all this, color contrast. So bright versus muted colors, red versus blue, and then to tie it all up together, emotion. We're wired to look at danger, joy, surprise, or fear. Now, curiosity is an extremely strong emotion, but the number one emotion that researchers have found that makes people click on something or want to buy something is fear. I'm not talking about horror movie fear. I'm talking about fear of pain, fear of missing out, fear of not knowing. So if you can utilize that in your thumbnail and use fear and curiosity to bring forth something that they wanted to desire and learn in the video, that is ultimately the winning formula. But knowing all this, here's where most people mess up. They overdo it. Don't put 10 different scroll stoppers in one thumbnail and cram every idea that you have into one thumbnail for one video. Now, if you have different thumbnail concepts, you can do A/B testing on YouTube. It allows you to do up to 3. There's different third-party apps that you can even test different thumbnails, and I think some even have like 7 to 10 at a time. But the thing is, you have to realize it's not just about an algorithm. Replace the word algorithm with audience and think about who you're making this video for. What would make them click? So if your video or your audience is going to be targeted towards kids that are 10 years old, that thumbnail is going to look drastically different than an audience that is in their 40s thinking about how to plan properly for retirement. So you have to learn your viewer's psychology, know who your avatar is, and then make your video accordingly for that. You can't just copy Mr. Beast thumbnails unless your audience is similar or adjacent to the audience of Mr. Beast. And one of the best ways to come up with really good thumbnail concepts in a short amount of time is utilizing AI. And if you want help with that, you can download my free YouTube Growth Coach in the description below. It's linked below. Like I said, it's free. Grab it, use it, and start growing faster. Now, while the quality of your thumbnail should be good, the design isn't necessarily about looking pretty. It's about being understood really fast because you only have 1 to 2 seconds to get the attention of someone scrolling past your video. And to do this really effectively, you can use a very popular method called the 3C method. Number 1, content. What is the main subject? Only include what builds curiosity, ditch the clutter. Second is composition. Where do the elements go? So use the rule of thirds or symmetry. Guide the eye to the most important part. You can do this with arrows, someone pointing their finger, or even colors that are darker and the main element, is slightly elevated. Then you can use contrast. Now this is where most creators mess up. Make your subject pop by using light versus dark, muted versus vibrant, or opposite colors. Great thumbnails aren't crowded, they're clear, obvious, and intentional. Now, one of the best ways to do this is to test your thumbnails with A/B testing. But another way to do this, and what I like to do, is scroll on your homepage 3 to 5 times a day and just take about 2 or 3 minutes each time. Whenever you come to a thumbnail that makes you stop, screenshot it and put it in a swipe file and start using different formats, because if your video is going to be shown next to titles and thumbnails that are all red and they have white letters and they're kind of crowded and they have 5 or 6 words, make a black thumbnail with red letters and use 1 or 2 words and just simplify it. That is going to stand out. So it's not about doing more. Sometimes it's about doing less, but ultimately it's about being creative, doing your research, and seeing what works. And then after that, testing, and gathering the data, getting the feedback and improving it, doing what works, doubling down, and stopping and avoiding what isn't working. And like I said, YouTube is a 2-part system. You have to get the click to get the view. But if you get the click and you lose your viewers in the first 5 to 10 seconds, YouTube is going to deem the video as a sucky video and it's going to bury the video and ultimately kill your channel. But now that you know how to get the click, you have to keep your viewers engaged. And if you want to learn more how to do that with better intros and keep them watching throughout the entire video, make sure to watch this video and I'll see you over there.